Hello, I'm here with my August book haul. Now, I've already done 2 book outlet unboxings this month, which I have in separate videos, so I'm going to have them down below. But this is the other books that I did not get from Book Outlet this month. Earlier this month, my mom and I were talking about favorite books because for the Booktubeathon, one of the challenges was to read somebody else's favorite book. And I was trying to talk to my mom about what her favorite book might be, and she couldn't pick just one, but she did say that one of the books that she really liked when she was little was The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. And I remembered that I used to love his books, but we never owned any. We always checked them out from the library. So I bought most of Shel Silverstein's books. The first one, which I'm probably going to actually give to my mom, is The Giving Tree. And I know this looks weird, but this is a very interesting copy of it. Let it out. Can you see it? It's a cloth-bound book. It's not supposed to have a cover on it, and it has its own little sleeve. I got this from Thrift Books, hence the sticker on it. Actually, I got all of these from Thrift Books. The next book I have, which I haven't read yet, is Falling Up. It's a collection of poems and drawings. And then A Light in the Attic, which is also a collection of poems and drawings. I'm about halfway through this one right now. And Where the Sidewalk Ends is also a collection of poems and drawings, which so far I actually like this one the least out of the books that I've read. And the next 2 I have actually kind of go together. It is The Missing Piece and The Missing Piece Meets the Big O. Now these 2 books are actually, it's hard to explain without just giving the whole story away, but these 2 books are about finding yourself, pretty much, and not relying on somebody else to complete you. And I will talk more about these 4 in my August wrap-up. The next 2 books I have, I've been wanting to get for a long time, and I just finally broke down and got them. I wanted to get these in hardcover because the other books that I have from this author are also in hardcover, and one of them was really hard to find. That one is Attachments by Rowell. People say it so many different ways, and I'm very bad, and I haven't looked up the proper way to say it yet. But this one was really hard to find. I couldn't find it new anywhere, so I broke down and I bought it used, even though I didn't really want to. But that came with a huge surprise, because not only is this actually a first edition of this book, but it is also signed, and it was signed in the month that it came out. So, yay! I'm really excited about this, and I've already read it. It's going to be in my wrap-up, but this is about a gentleman who works in the IT department at a newspaper, and his job is pretty much internet security. So he goes through and the system flags all kinds of stuff for when people are doing the wrong thing on the internet. And one of the things that it flags is emails, company emails. And he keeps getting flags from these 2 girls that work at the newspaper, and they are talking about personal things and not work things, and that is against company policy. But the problem is, he actually starts liking one of the girls. Even though he's never met her, he starts liking her and falling in love with her. So this is their story. The next book I haven't read yet, and that is Fangirl. I have heard so many good things about this, and I've just put off buying it, but I went ahead and broke down and bought it because so many people have been talking about this recently. I've just, a whole bunch of tag videos, people are using it for tags, and it just seems so cute and fun, and after I read attachments, I was like, okay, I have to get Fangirl. And so I have it. And the only thing I really know is about there's this girl who goes to college and she writes fan fiction. And apparently she does not know where the dining hall is. And that's all I know. I don't know. It was the only Rainbow Rowell book out that I didn't have yet. And I even pre-ordered her book that comes out in October. So that's a sneak peek on a future haul video there. And the last book that I got, this is not the last book that I purchased during the month of August, but I wanted to take a little bit of time at the end of this video to tell you a bit about this. It is Progeny of Gods, Virtuum Destiny by Jeffrey Storm. I started following you on YouTube, so if you're watching this, hi. He is Sticula here on YouTube, and I will link the video for the trailer for the book down below. And this one is also a little hard to describe without giving stuff away, but I am about halfway through it already, so it's not going to be in my August wrap-up. It'll have to wait until my September wrap-up. I'm taking my time reading it because I really want to soak in as much as I can. This is about a young man named Grayson who has green eyes in a world where everybody else has brown eyes, and he ends up finding out that his green eyes actually mean something. But along the way, he ends up releasing this character named Sticula, and he is a monster. He's already gone on a killing spree long ago, and they finally locked him up, and he has now been released. This is very interesting. There's sci-fi, there's fantasy, and I'm loving this right now. I can't wait to finish reading this. I might actually do an individual book talk on this. I'm not sure. I'm not very good at book talks. I'll have to think about that. That's it. Definitely something to look into. These are the books that I did not get from Book Outlet this month. I can't believe I almost forgot a book. Actually, I did forget a book, but I am doing a new recording that's including this one. So I got the Dragonlance Chronicles, Dragons of Autumn Twilight by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. I'm not seeing the artist on here. Okay, there's more than one artist. The adaptation is by Andrew Dabb. Pencils are by Steve Kurth and Stefano Raphael. Colors are by Joko Santico of Imaginary Friends Studios. Letters by Steve Seeley and Brian J. Crowley, edited by Mark Powers. There's a lot of people whose work went into this comic, but this is a bind-up, I guess, of all of the comics that went into the first book in the Dragonlance Chronicles, which is Dragons of Autumn Twilight, and I ended up purchasing this used. I know that's kind of bad, but these are really, really, really hard to find, and I was a little disappointed because whenever I got it, the top and the bottom corners are a little messed up. However, it is signed by one of the authors. There is a chance that I might end up trying to repurchase a better copy, but I'm not getting rid of this. I mean, I can argue with the company that it was in worse condition than what they claimed, but it's signed. So, yeah. And it's signed by one of my favorite fantasy authors, Margaret Weiss. I still need to get Dragons of Spring Dawning Volume 1 and Dragons of Winter Night. And then I should have all of the Chronicles. I already have this one and Dragons of Spring Dawning Part 2. So I am really excited to get into these. I love the Chronicles. I love Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman's books and their writing, and I flipped through the beginning of this one. Whenever I was looking in Dragons of Spring Dawning, I was a little confused. I didn't know what was going on. But this actually, starting from the beginning, because Dragons of Spring Dawning Part 2 is in the middle of the book, for one, but also it's the third book in the series. This actually starts off almost exactly like the book, so I'm really excited. And look at that art. That is awesome. But I think I want to wait until I get the other two comics, or comic collections, or wherever you want to call these bind-ups, before I start reading it, because I think I'm going to marathon all of them. Remember the memories of reading the actual books. I'm excited about this. And that's all I have for this video, so I'll see you next time.